let's play some revisionist history. The idea here is that I started off this morning when I was editing Waruna Pereira's article for All 49ers, and he was saying that you need to basically 43 of the last of the 55 Super Bowl winners, quarterbacks are Hall of Famers, 43 to 55. And it made me think, he's like, the only ones really that haven't been Hall of Famers who have won it recently are Nick Foles and Joe Flacco. And I was thinking, man, how did the Niners lose to Joe Flacco? So the Niners are one of the more decorated teams in NFL history, along with the Cowboys, Steelers, the Patriots. I mean, this is serious, rarefied air. They were 5-0 in the Super Bowl. And since then, some weird things have happened the last 10 years. And so we're going to go back and sort of change a couple of things here and there to give the 49ers 7 Super Bowl rings. And so we're going to go through a couple Super Bowls, a couple drafts, a couple free agencies, and just say what we would do in hindsight. So don't get too upset. We definitely have the power of hindsight, and we're not saying we would have made the right call at the time, although, of course, you would have. So Super Bowl 47, Niners fell behind big time, came all the way back. They were inside the 10, going in to win. They had 4 shots to seal the deal. They didn't do it. Vish, what would you do differently in that one game?
First things first, I mean, there's a lot that I wish would happen differently. First things first, I wish that Chris Culliver wasn't put in front of a mic before that Super Bowl. What he said was dumb.
Can't avoid that. Can't avoid that Super Bowl.
It was a very interesting thing. 2, I wish Patrick Willis, I think it was Frank Gore, Vernon Davis, Navarro Bowman weren't caught by TMZ cameras on the Tuesday before the Super Bowl at a strip club.
Yep.
I wish that didn't happen. Not because I think it changed the outcome of the game, just because I thought it brought up unnecessary reasons. You know, it was an unnecessary conversation that didn't need to be had. Like, they could go to a strip club.
And then when you saw how they fell behind by like 20 points early on, it was like, well, this team seems.
Everybody blamed it on that, right?
Well,
like, I don't mind.
Yes,
I don't mind.
It wasn't the stripper's fault. It was not the stripper's fault. Let's just make that clear. But there were like different things that made it seem like they weren't quite ready for that moment.
Right. So my thing was like, I don't mind if they go to the strip club. I just wish TMZ didn't get camera shots of them going. Like, I don't care. Do whatever you want.
Still is always one rule. There's always one rule, Vish. What's the rule? Don't get caught. Always
don't get caught.
Don't get caught.
Right. And then we go to the obviously this is another thing before the game. I wish Jim Harbaugh, you know, his pre-snap management of his offense was always terrible with the 49ers.
Yeah.
The amount of timeouts, the amount of delay of games, the amount of times the offense didn't get lined up correctly, it was a problem. But for the first play of the Super Bowl, you like that play's rehearsed, right? Yeah. That play's installed. You've been working on it. You know exactly what you want to come out and do, and you execute a 20-yard throw to Vernon Davis. Start off with a bang. And guess what? Pre-snap penalty, that's awful. And that to me is just it's a coaching blunder. The fact that you have a player who lined up incorrectly at that point, that's a coaching blunder. So that's the third thing I would be that ticked me off. Like, so with Jim Harbaugh, that would change. And then obviously there's a lot you can go through in that game and you would like to change. Like, to me, the Niners were just a way more talented team across the board than that Baltimore Ravens team. I thought that Baltimore Ravens defense was a tad overrated. I thought Ray Lewis was over the hill. Ed Reed wasn't the same Ed Reed. T-Sizzle, Terrell Suggs was still a beast, but that Niners offense was loaded with Crabtree and Vernon Davis and Frank Gore and Delaney Walker and Kaepernick. And so, I mean, I could go through that entire game and be like, how the heck do you fall behind so badly when you showed in 9 minutes of that football game, you tied the game up or made it a 2-point football game because you showed you were the better team by far. Yeah. But the one thing I would change is, man, you get down. I think it was first and goal from the 7?
Yes.
Second goal from the 7?
Yes.
The ball going to Michael Crabtree. I mean, I didn't mind them going to Michael Crabtree. Going all 3 times to Michael Crabtree is what, man. One of those
targets to Vernon Davis would have been nice.
Right. Or one of those just running the football with Frank Gore. Or finding a creative way to put the ball in Frank Gore's hands. It didn't have to be a run, right? Because they were showing loaded boxes. I mean, they threw the fade on the last play against the cover 0 look. You're not going to run the ball against that look on 4th and goal. But I wish there was some sort of creativity to get the ball to Vernon into Frank Gore's hands. But it was another just comes down to coaching, right? And the reason the Niners teams didn't win under Jim Harbaugh is because they were bad in the red zone, right? They were always a bad red zone team. There's a reason David Akers set the record for the most field goals made in a season. And they were bad they made too many pre-snap mistakes, and those two things just ate them up in that Super Bowl. So, yeah, going back, I would change.
They beat themselves in the Super Bowl. They beat themselves in that Super Bowl.
It just comes down to that red zone creativity, man, and just find a way to get Frank Gore one touch, Vernon Davis
one target, and Crabtree one target.
Yeah, right.
But it doesn't have to be one player 3 times, the same exact play all 3 times.
Right.
Vish. I need Vish's top 10 quarterbacks. I swear he calls like 5 quarterbacks that are 8 to 12, all top 10. You don't have to give all your top 10 quarterbacks right now.
I have it right here if you want.
All right, go for it.
Mahomes, this is in no particular order. Mahomes, Rodgers, Allen, Brady, Watson, Russell Wilson. So I'm at 6. Lamar, Kyler, Dak. That's 9. And Stafford is the 10th.
Boom. There you go.
And
Thank you.
Like the guys that are right around there are like Herbert, Ryan Tannehill, Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield. To me, there's 15 top 10 quarterbacks in today's NFL just because of the way the game is and how quarterback friendly it is and how many good quarterbacks there are.
That's why my thing with the Browns, I feel like they could be the best roster in the league, but I don't know if Baker's good enough. My thing. I don't know. And Tannehill, like you do kind of need a Hall of Fame level quarterback because, as good as Baker is, as good as Tannehill is, Mahomes in the league making not that much.
So 2 things, don't want to make this a Browns topic, but 2 things that I want to say as pro Baker, because I do think the Browns are going to win the AFC. That was my preseason pick. I made that before the draft itself, but it's subject to change, by the way. Don't hold me to this if like the Browns flop at 7-10. I might change it before the season. But I think the Browns roster and the way their team is built is very similar to the 2019 Niners and the 2018 Rams. I think Baker Mayfield is just a better quarterback than 2019 Jimmy Garoppolo, 2018 Goff. I think he's better in the pocket than both of them. I think he has a better arm than both of them. I think he's a better thrower than both of them. So that I agree with. And to me, it's not about as much having a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's a discussion I think we had when we were talking about quarterback pricing. It's more having a quarterback play at a Hall of Fame level, right? Like we bring up Joe Flacco, right? Whatever you want to say about Joe Flacco, that playoff run, he was spectacular. He played like a Tom Brady. He played like a Peyton Manning. He played like an elite passer. The one thing that the Browns, if you look at, they can be kind of happy about. One, Baker Mayfield throughout his college career, he played big-time football in big games, right? Throughout his college career. 2, last year against the Chiefs, Baker Mayfield was the best player on the Cleveland Browns. He had a hell of a football game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, it was against anything is possible, but he still played really well. And that's where, like, the Garoppolos and the Goffs, they couldn't elevate their play in the playoffs. Their limitations got exacerbated in the playoffs, while Baker Mayfield seemed to elevate his play. So that's where I give the Browns maybe a bit more of a chance.
Good call. All right. Matt says, what's your take on the lights conspiracy Ray Lewis claims? What was his lights conspiracy? That the Niners did it? The NFL did it? The Niners back in the game?
What's Ray Lewis's claims on the suit conspiracy? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's a good question. I'm going to leave it at that. Fernando Cruz says strippers like football too. They might. You never know. Anyway, I remember that happening.
And the funny thing is, like, just to touch on that even more, like, that might be the routine, They might have won 14 or 15 football games that year every Tuesday night, the 5 of them going to a strip club on a Tuesday night or Wednesday night or whenever it was. But it's just when you get caught and you in the Super Bowl, when everything is like multiplied by 2 and the magnifying glass is up there, then it just becomes like, what? Like, why couldn't you just not have TMZ videotape you?
Yeah, come on. Like, get like get a body double, get a mask, get something to throw off the scent.
And go to the private room immediately.